Good afternoon, good evening or good morning. Today I have a Jackson Kelly which I bought last week, used from Richtone Music. This is a Japanese manufactured 2009 model, 7-digit one. Now, first thing I did with this, I'll just remove this strap off my head. Was move the strap post from there to here behind the neck plate, and also from there up to here. The reason being, where Jackson or Fender, because they're owned by Fender now, put the strap post on Kellys, they used to put it there, but now they've moved it to sort of slightly above the neck plate to try to stop it neck diving, but it still neck dives because they put the other one here. Now if you want to stop a Jackson Kelly neck diving, you've got to bring the end one up towards the top of the rear bow, and this one basically is near to behind where the neck plate is. So when you put it on, it doesn't dive. Right, like this. Okay, now another thing as well is this guitar strap. It's a Red Monkey leather one that keeps the guitar in pretty good position, even if it is a guitar that normally dives. But I could put quite a slippery strap on and this will stay where it is with where I've positioned them there. That's the first thing I do when I buy a Kelly. I do wish Fender or Jackson would start making these in 22 frets and bringing it back down so the bridge is further back here, so it balances a bit better anyway. But I doubt they'll do that just for me, and I'm not waiting 5 years for a custom shop one. I tried to order a custom shop one a while ago with my own specs, and you could tell they didn't really want to do it. You know, even though it was going to cost £5,000, it was just jumping through hoops. I can't believe how hard it is to order a Jackson custom shop guitar. But anyway, I bought this from Richtone Music for 450 quid. It's a nice guitar, apart from it's got 24 frets, which I don't like. I'm still on the fence whether I'm keeping it. I love Jackson Kellys. Little story about it. I was only in Richtone Music to pick up some stuff I bought online. Some what were they? Yeah, some Goto tuners. And I bought some strings, you know, as you normally do in guitar shops. And I'm just walking out of the door and my wife shouts, Pete, there's a Jackson Kelly here, knowing full well I love Jackson Kellys, and that I'd also got the money to buy it. So 5 minutes later I'm walking out of the shop with it, and here we are. One volume control, EMG 81, I think it's a 60. I'm not massively knowledgeable on EMGs. And a pickup selector, and Jackson's own version of a Floyd Rose. Now, I've literally just tuned this. Oh, it's okay, yeah. We'll see where it's like. It's on the bridge. Yeah, the volume control's fairly responsive. Enough of that dirty channel. Going through my ENGL Fireball. On the floor I've got my pedal board, which has got a polytuner on it, a couple of overdrives that I'm not using, and the ENGL channel switching pedal. All the EQs on the Fireball, as usual, on all my videos, I normally have all the EQs on 12 o'clock. So you've got a consistency across all my videos, so you can basically tell whether a guitar's toppy or bottomy or how it sounds. So all the guitars are going in the same amp with the same settings, if that makes sense to you. But here we are, dirty channel, bridge pickup. See how well in tune it is. Yeah, it slipped a little bit. It slipped quite a lot actually. I don't know how many people are sort of into Floyd Roses who watch my videos, but generally when I tune a Floyd Rose, I always tune it from the centre out. So starting on the G string, then the D, then the B, then the A. And I tend to find by doing that, you have to go back over it less, you know, if that makes sort of sense. Now, I bought a Goto trem for this and a trem stop, because every time I have a Floyd Rose style trem, I either block it in the back with a piece of wood, or I have a trem stop on it, so it will only dive. That way, if you're gigging and you bust a string, your guitar just doesn't fly out of tune like it does if it's floating. You know, it's fine if you've got a roadie to pass you another guitar immediately, but if you've got to finish the song or wait for a gap in the song, you know, and you're there with a guitar that's just totally out of tune, you'll just look like a right spanner. But anyway, there'll be a video on the comparison between this guitar with this trem in it and with the Goto Floyd Rose, which I should think the Goto one will be better because it's got a brass block in it, and I've had the back off this and it's not been modded in any way. It's the cheap Jackson copy of a Floyd with a cheap nasty monkey metal block in it. Yeah, it's nearly in tune. It's got quite a wide neck at the nut. Again, I don't particularly like the more modern Jackson necks. I like the older ones. I had a Jackson soloist in the 80s, and that the nut was narrower and it had more of what you would consider a normal, I think it was like a Gibson sort of profiled neck at the back, and the width of it. It was what year was it? I think it was about the first one I had would have been an 87 one, and it was imported. Second one I had was in the early 90s. But yeah, they didn't have this massively thin neck there and that wide and flat. I think it had about a 12-inch radius on it. I can play it, but I prefer that kind of thing on the ESP. But it's the shape of them I love. I love Explorer kind of guitars, and I love these Kellys. You know, they're fantastic. Like I said, I'm still in two minds whether I'm keeping this guitar, but I might just keep it because I want to have a Kelly, you know, and I've not had one for years. The last Kelly I had was an American one, and it's one of my great guitar selling regrets. If I can find a picture of it, I'll put it on the video so you can see it and you'll go, "What'd you sell that for, Pete, you idiot?" It was a Tiger Stripe one, and my wife said it looked like a pair of strippers' knickers. or that's panties for my American friends. But I loved it, you know, and again, the neck profile on that wasn't quite like this. It was slightly slimmer in width and more comfortable to play. And that was a fairly modern, that was like a Fender era Jackson too. So, you know, I don't know how they do it, but anyway, Jackson Kelly, if you're a metalhead, every metalhead loves these, you know, I do. I wish they'd make them in stock tailpiece, like higher end ones in stock tailpiece. I'd be all over it, but yeah, and on the Gibson scale and not the Fender scale, but they're not going to do that, are they? You know, being owned by Fender. Yeah, one last thing. I paid 450 quid for this from Richstone Music. I've looked on Reverb and eBay, and it is a Japanese one. I've checked the serial number and anything, and I think I got it fairly cheap because I've seen people trying to knock them out, usually around 750. A few people go a little bit higher. I've seen one in not quite as good condition and not as desirable as this in the colour and stuff, up for like just under 600 quid. But I think because the Japanese Jacksons that they're doing new now are so expensive, I think it's bumped the prices of the older Japanese ones up. But yeah, it's a Kelly and I love Kellys, so here we are. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like and subscribe on your way out. Cheers.